Namaskar. Chaturtho Samata Bhava. The fourth factor, or rather secret of success, is balanced state of the mind. Bhava means wave of the mind, and Samata is to keep the mind in a balanced condition, to keep the mind free from distortions. Every living being somehow maintains a natural parallelism with the cosmic wave. So in nature, everything is somehow in harmony. But as we grow, as we develop complexity, we may also become complicated. We may also acquire certain distortions. And when those distortions are acquired, then we lose the touch with the external reality. We lose the touch with the inner conscience. We get disconnected from the higher power. And in that way we become handicapped. If in your mind you think it is round, but actually it is square, and if you act as if it is round, but it is actually square, of course you are going to fail. So you need to have a proper touch with the reality. And for that, the mind has to be distortion free. There are three main complexes that disturbs our psychology, that makes us inefficient, unsuccessful. Inferiority complex, superiority complex, fear complex. So I'm going to talk about these complexes and how to overcome those complexes. Inferiority complex is the most harmful psychological distortion. It is when we feel, we have a belief, we are convinced that I am somehow inferior. I am not able to do certain things, and somehow I am not worthy. This complex paralyzes the entire psychology. I met many people. I taught many people practice of meditation, and I'm in regular contact with so many people. And I observe so much of the psychologies of the people. And what I see, when the person is troubled with inferiority complex, he may be extremely intelligent, extremely talented, bright person. But that blockage paralyzes, and the person is just unable to express his potential or her potential. So inferiority complex is very, very harmful. How to overcome inferiority complex? Actually, in psychology, two ways are very efficient, and yoga is an ancient form of psychology, a very advanced, ancient but very advanced form of psychology. It works on the physical level, psychic level, psycho-spiritual level, spiritual level also. So an efficient way to change your psychology, to remove the distortion, is to make use of two processes: auto-suggestion and outer suggestion. Suggestions from within and suggestions from outside. Auto-suggestion, you have to tell yourself, I am a good person, I am a strong person, affirm that. And whenever harmful thought has arisen in your mind, I hate myself, I am unworthy, you have to change it into the positive wave. Think something opposite. And slowly, slowly, the hormonal situation of the body will change. Because it is all due to the glands. First, the distortion comes as the external factor. Someone tells you, you are stupid, you are stupid, you are stupid, you are stupid. After 50 times you hear, stupid, 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 you start to bend into that wave, and you actually lose your intelligence. So the glands and the nerves of the human body, they get adjusted to the ideas. And the ideas, they may come from inside, they may come from outside. But if you consider that idea, just for a moment, if you consider it, already that idea starts to work within you and makes changes within your glandular secretions and hormones and nervous system. So a powerful way to counteract, you have to counteract one idea with another idea. One idea has to fight another idea. One idea has to overcome. Which idea will win? The winning idea will be the one which you repeat the most. If you think I'm stupid, I hate myself, I'm stupid, of course, this one is going to win. There is no way. Because you repeatedly create that wave in the mind. And you create the body of your dream. You create that, living being that is suited to experience that complex. So auto-suggestion. Keep telling yourself, I am good, I am capable person, I can do anything and everything. Another important part of auto-suggestion is a meditation process. Because in meditation, what you tell? Either you pronounce internally your personal mantra, which suggests you that you are one with infinity. Or you repeat the universal mantra Bhavanam Kevalam. Consciousness is all there is. I am consciousness. I am love. I am blissful entity. You repeat it. In the beginning, many people, they say, I don't feel anything in meditation. Why is it so? Because the body, the structure, the nerves, the hormones, not adjusted to that idea. It's just so alien, that idea. I've been telling my whole life something else to myself. And now I'm telling consciousness is all there is, love is all there is, and I'm not able to feel that. But as you take that idea so many times, again and again and again, then the adjustment will be brought in the body. And then you will slowly start to feel. And all the distortions of the mind, they will start to get evaporated. So actually, spiritual approach, meditation, and especially singing of the mantra, it is a panacea to cure all the complexes, to remove all the distortions from the mind. And apart from that, in day-to-day life, you have to suggest yourself, I am a good person, I am a capable person, and so on, in this way. Counteract negative idea with the positive idea. And then there is a big importance of outer suggestion. What people tell you from outside. As we think, so we become. We see also what we are. Our mind is the tool through which we perceive the world. So, if the mind is negative, it will easily see negative things. So if you are in a company with negative-minded people, they will easily see defects. They will not see merits. So they will point out, criticize, and this environment is very harmful. Very harmful. Rather, you need to get into supportive environment. Don't maintain too much communication with people who do not believe in you. You must have people who have faith in you around. And then even if you yourself, you don't have faith in yourself. But then people from outside, they will support you. And you will see, just few words. awaken you, give you strength. And slowly, slowly, by auto-suggestion, when people point out good things, bring your attention, look how capable you are, then slowly, slowly this distortion will be removed. So this is the way. That's why it is said, Satsangena bhaven muktir, asatsangeshu bandhanam. The good company leads to liberation. In the good company, you will slowly become liberated, because you get a positive outer suggestion. Good company is everything, actually. If you are in a good company, it's considered to be one of the most powerful spiritual practice. If you are in a good company, very quickly you develop to the standard of that company. Then next complex is superiority complex. Superiority is when someone feels that I am not only unique, but I am best. I am better than others. And there are many kinds of superiority. In the ancient scriptures it is said, 3 types of ego is there, 3 types of this superiority, and you have to get rid of them. Abhimanam, Surapanam. Inflated ego is just like drinking the wine. Gauravam, Rauravam, Dhruvam. Self-aggrandizement is just like going into the deepest hell. Pratishta, Sukarivishta, hankering after social prestige is like smearing yourself with the excrement of the pig. Trayam tyaktva harim bhajet. Leave those 3, renounce those 3, and sing the glory of the Supreme Entity. This is a very, very, very powerful advice. Abhimanam, when we feel that I'm a VIP person, I expect from others a VIP treatment, that other people will treat me different than other people. Somehow I deserve more. This deep faith, deep belief that I'm better than others distorts the mind. And then it is compared to drinking of wine. You become drunk. And in a state of this intoxication, you lose the touch with reality. You behave irrationally. You expect things, irrational things, which are not supposed to be there. It is said that every Napoleon must meet with his Waterloo. Napoleon was a great commander, rather an emperor, national leader of France. Maybe one of the greatest figures in human history. But he also slowly, slowly gets convinced that he is really a special person. And he started to lose the touch with reality. Then, as a result, he lost his army, he lost his everything. He lost his power. In the state of superiority, we don't listen anymore. People will tell, nature will tell, the world will tell. I will not listen. I will say, no, I know. So this I know is the expression of ego. This is exactly the expression of ego. And if you are a disciple, it goes very much contradictory. It is said that the idea of I don't know is the starting point of learning. It is the fundamental quality of every disciple. So I don't know. I want to find out. This is how the scientific revolution happened on the planet Earth. Before, always people would think, we know. You know, God has created the earth in 7 days. On the 7 days he has rested. But then this change happened, the scientific thinking. No, we don't know. We don't know that. Maybe in 7 days, but we have to check. We have to find out, we have to prove through experimentation. So this was really the shift. And then you see in the last 500 years, so much changes in our human civilization. Whereas before 1 million years, there was no change at all. So this Abhimana makes just us like a drunk person. The world wants to tell you something, but you won't listen. You will say, I know. And you don't change. And then slowly the world tries to tell you. It tries to help you. You don't listen. So then you fall. That is why actually, all of this is known for thousands of years ago. But human beings do not listen. Sadashiva, the first master, he has said, the pride goes before the failure. If you feel proud, in a bad sense of the term, if you feel that I am right, I know everything, then next comes the failure. They are connected. If you don't have that, there will be no failure. The failure is not failure in that case. So one is Abhimana, inflated ego, is just like drinking the wine. Next one is self-aggrandizement. You go in a car, in the cab, and the taxi driver in 15 minutes will give you a presentation of how great he is. This is self-aggrandizement. In my garden, there are these big cucumbers growing. Actually, they are this big. But in your mind, they are like that. And you really project yourself. You want to project yourself as a great personality. And human beings, they either praise themselves or they try to create the situation when other people praise themselves. And in that way, person starts to live in imaginary world. And he becomes very vulnerable. If someone praises me, I feel very good. But if someone criticizes me, I feel extremely painful. But the person in a balanced state of the mind, he does not care for the compliments. He is not dependent. He doesn't want those good words told to him. And he also is not vulnerable to the criticism. Okay, you may praise me, you may criticize me. I know. And I maintain a state of balance. I have a kind of objective view about myself. I know my merits, I know my demerits. So if you praise me, it doesn't, I know. I don't go into the skies, I skyrocket into the feelings of ego. And if you criticize me, I also don't fall down so much. So that is the balanced state of the mind. Then, pratishta, social prestige, is considered to be this self-aggrandizement was compared with a deepest hell. Person have become like a beggar. Please give me some love. Say me something. Say something good to me. You become dependent on others. Although I said that you need to have supportive environment, but sometimes from inferiority complex, person may shift into the superiority complex, and you have to be careful not to do that. Yes, I am good, I am worthy person, but not more than that. It's not that I am the best of the best in the world. Don't go into that extreme. So just in the middle. There are so many states of imbalance. Here, millions of imbalances, and here is the million of imbalances. And the state of balance is only one. And that is the efficient state. And we have to stay there, at the middle. And the third expression of ego is social prestige. I must have this car. I cannot sit in a car little lower class. I can only, mix with the people of my status, and so on and so on and so on. So many artificial divisions so many artificial ideas, and you become like a slave of those social prestige things. So it is compared to the excrements of the pig. It's not nice thing. It's not noble something. No, it does not make you pure. Rather it makes you impure. So in this verse, ancient verse, it is suggested, Trayam tyaktva harim bhajet, leave the tree and sing the glory of the Supreme. Why you have to sing the glory of the Supreme? Actually, many times this idea goes very conflicting with the person. Why should I sing anybody's glory? Who is he? Why should I sing? I am not slave to praise him and sing the glory. It's difficult to think. How not to sing my own glory? I like to sing my own glory. This is the property of the mind. It has to glorify somebody. Either you will think about yourself, talk about yourself, and keep as the center of your life your little ego. And that life is a misery. Everything rotates, revolves around the ego. I don't remember which celebrity has said that. He said, you know, I went to Africa, and after that I refuse to talk about the problem with the people of my circle of the problems. They have no problems. But the life revolves about this little ego, and it becomes so miserable. Even though you are rich, famous, and so on and so on, but you're so extremely miserable because life revolves around the little ego, and it is unnatural for us. Why is it unnatural? Because our nature, our spiritual need is to revolve around infinity, to grow, become infinite. And if you go around the little ego and little ego and little ego and little ego, you are not becoming infinite at all. Just small problems, small problems, small problems, small problems. So that is why the suggestion is sing the glory of the Supreme. It means think about Supreme, appreciate the Supreme, the infinite, entertain the idea of infinite. And then slowly, slowly, the mind, as you think, so you become. It will expand. And it will acquire new feelings, new emotions. And you will live easily those things that you were so attached before. Because these egoistic feelings, they give a sort of pleasure to us. And we become attached to them. As if it is the final accomplishment in life. But there is something better. So if we discover something better, if we develop appreciation of the infinity, then we live this. So this is the recipe. Another verse says, be more humble than the grass, be more tolerant than the trees. The tree, when you cut something in the bark of the tree doesn't curse you. It still gives you shade, it still gives you the fruits. So this ideal is given. Be just like a tree. Even someone hurts you, you still, maybe externally, you may become harsh, may not become harsh, but internally, you are loving. You want that person also to achieve success and to be happy. So this ideal is given. Be more tolerant than the trees. Give respects to those whom no one respects. This is also a cure for the feeling of social prestige. If you sit with a homeless person, so many complexes are there. Other people will see me, I am mixing with the homeless person. Other people will think I am also homeless. This is a general trend in psychology. We are judged by our friends. People like to take selfies with the famous people. Excuse me? Can I take? And then they will put the selfie in the social networks. for everyone to see. Look, I'm with that celebrity together. It means I'm also something. And nobody likes to, would be with the people of the other side. Oh, maybe I'm not your friend. Stay away from me. So the recipe is given. Give respect to those whom no one respects. Respect, and you will find out. It's actually key. My friends, here, the practitioners who do meditation, they like to do some service to people. So once a week they cook some food and they distribute that food. And it is amazing practice. People, they tell their experiences. They change their understanding of the people who are in trouble. Like homeless people. The society despises them, sort of hates them. They are pushed away somehow, they are not cared. But when you know these people, when you listen to their story, you change your opinion. You understand that, actually, I'm just lucky. Everyone could be like that. There are amazing stories, what happened to them. And you understand, I'm just lucky. And you change. You don't hate, you don't disrespect, you respect. So this is very important also. And it cures the feeling of social prestige. So overcoming superiority complexes like that. Also through auto-suggestion and outer suggestion. Inner suggestion and from outside. If there are good people around you, good friends, they will tell you, hey, come on, take off your crown. This is auto-suggestion. Bring your mind in a state of balance. Sometimes with the friends we joke about each other, and in that way we maintain the balance. So we feel jokingly that, okay, now I'm a little too much. And then you come to proper awareness. I'm not the best of the best of the best. I'm just a simple person. So from outside also support and also little bring to the balance. Remove that, from the throne and take off the crown. And inner suggestion. I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. In that simplicity is more worthy than the gold. I'm a simple man. I'm a humble man. You will find that the beginners in meditation, they will like to be something, to project something. They say, oh, my kundalini rise, my chakras has awakened, and I've purified myself. I experienced the beauty of being, and so on and so on and so on. And the language becomes that way. It is not a simple language anymore. It's just a very, very, high up there in the skies. People like to do that. But later on in the course of spiritual practice, they develop aversion to that sort of thinking, speaking, and behavior. They like to be just simple, unnoticed. Because the mind is in the state of the balance. Because in the state of the balance, you experience far more happiness and bliss than in the state of imbalance. When your chakras are awakened and kundalini is raised, then you don't experience any bliss. You don't experience any happiness. You only experience bliss when you tell about your kundalini and chakras. And otherwise you don't feel. So you will see the difference as the person practices meticulously, practices and practices and practices. He becomes simple. This is actually the criteria of elevated mind. I met one person. People say about him that he goes into samadhi, the trance of absorption, in the trance of merging with God several times per day. And I came with that expectation. I saw an old man with the brilliant eyes, beautiful, beautiful eyes. Otherwise, very simple man. He was over 80 years old, but he spoke with such clarity, such humility. It really touched me so much. There was no chakras, kundalini and astral plan and all these things. Not at all. There was a common sense things, but so clear, so beautiful. At that moment I understood, oh, I really want to be like that. I want to be like that. Is the accomplishment. Then fear complex. Fear also depends. I already recorded the video how to overcome fear. You can watch that one also. Also there is a video about Manipura chakra. The fear is originating mostly in the Manipura chakra. There is another fear also here in Anahata chakra and Swadhisthana chakra. The fear complex comes due to that illusion that we are separated from the Supreme Power. And also it comes from the feeling that I control my destiny. We do have some control over our actions, but we don't control the result of the action. We may have done, according to our thinking, everything right, but the result is still disastrous. Or we may have done, according to our understanding, everything wrong, but still the result is great. The result is not always depend on us. It actually doesn't depend on us. But we have this illusion that the result is in my hands. No, it is not in your hands. What is in your hands is the action, what you do. If you do according to your conscience, or you're going against the advice of your conscience. So our duty is to do according to our principles and feeling and conscience. And what will happen is not in our hands, so why worry? So slowly, slowly, also in spiritual aspirants, the feeling develops that everything is in the hands of the Almighty Consciousness, Supreme Consciousness. And everything will happen just in the right way. I told you the story the other day. I was in the train and I was repeating mantra internally, Bhavanam Kevalam. The Supreme Consciousness is all there is. The Supreme Consciousness is all there is. All there is. And then this realization dawned on me that yes, everything is love. Everything is in the hands of love. Then why do I worry? If the Supreme Love governs this universe, it may sometimes the nature seems to be harsh, and many, in our understanding, bad things may happen. But still there is a force that guides. The force that guides the stars guides you too. So when this idea, these feelings, and also this experience awakens, then you become fearless. You understand that Supreme Entity is always with you, always takes care of you, always guides you. I cannot be in trouble if I listen to it. Just recently, several stories happened. Just miraculous stories. But somehow I felt, yes, I am under protection of the Supreme Entity. So fear slowly, slowly wanes and go away. This is a very fundamental human emotion, that fear complex, fear emotion, and then becomes fear complex. Like you become fearful, just fearful. The world is a terrible place to live. This sort of belief you build in yourself. And you have to overcome that by different idea. No, this world is governed by love. This is the choice. You can create the psychology of fear. This place is a terrible, this world is a terrible place. And then, according to what you have created, you will see. And the reality will give you the proof. You were right about it. And actually, the fear is interesting thing. It attracts actually the situations. I remember that. Yeah, if you have this strong belief that, something bad will happen and the world is a terrible place, then it happens. Though many times it does not happen. I told another day that you should not fear to fear. Don't think that, if I'm thinking, necessarily it will be attracted the situation. But don't fear also. So change the idea. No. Everything is in the hands of the Supreme, love, and everything is just going right. And if something happens, this has to happen, because I need to go through it as a preparation for something beautiful. And then you accept it, not as something bad, but as something good. And then slowly change the psychology and become fearless. Samatha bhava, feeling of sameness. I look at everything with the same eyes. You're not different from me, I'm not different from you. Human beings, animals, plants, we are part of one big family. And fundamentally, we are so different on the physical level. Yes, I don't look like a tree. I think so. I don't think so. I don't look like a grass. We are so different on the physical level. We are black, we are white, yellow, red, all the colors. But under the skin we are human beings, we are more similar. Outside, externally, we may look different. Psychologically, we also different. But spiritually, there is no two different entities. You and me is not just similar. Not only that. There is no you and me. There is only one. We are one. So when you elevate your mind to that level, and then you start to perceive that unity in diversity. This diverse world is so diverse, but it is one. You and me is just one thing. So that experience, that is Samatha bhava. Spirituality aims to that realization that you see the Supreme in everything, and you realize yourself as a Supreme and yourself as a Supreme. This is the aim of spirituality. So if you entertain the complexes, I am lower, I am higher, inferior, superior, then you disturb this flow of sameness. You deliberately remove yourself from the understanding of oneness and go into the understanding of diversities. And this is counter-spiritual approach. And spiritual approach is to look into the oneness. And of course the spiritual practices are for that. Meditation, when you do that, and when you, not in theory, but in practice, you feel and appreciate that presence of the consciousness, when your mind expands, when you feel it, when you see it with your own eyes, then your psychology changes so much. And many times you will experience, you look at the grass, and all of a sudden you feel the tears of joy come to your eyes. Why? Because you have that you see that beauty, uncommon beauty. It's a common grass, but uncommonly beautiful. It emanates the spiritual presence. So that is the due to the samatha bhava. When everything is same, we are one. When the mind is out of, there are no distortions, then there will be vibration of consciousness. And then human being without distortions, he is also very efficient. The inferiority complex is the worst because you don't even start to do any work. You think I cannot do. Superiority a little better because at least you feel, oh, I can do everything. But then when you do, you are out of touch with reality. You think round, but it is square. And you try to put the square into the round hole. You are not successful. And the fear, if you have fear also, it stops you from expressing. So the mundane success depends on that balanced state of the mind. And spiritual success very much depends, because we need to maintain the bhava, the state of parallelism with the Supreme Consciousness. Then finally I want to underline that the best method to overcome all the complexes is to regularly do kirtana, singing of the mantra with the dance, Lalita Marmika. That dance is really magical dance. It just changes your biopsychology. In 15 minutes you feel so different. You remove all the complexes, and fear complexes especially. It goes away in 15 minutes. And then singing and ideating the Supreme. Then in course of the spiritual practices, all the complexes will go away. And remember, auto-suggestion, tell yourself the right thing. Always tell yourself the right thing. Even you don't believe in the beginning, it doesn't matter. If you tell it 1,000 times, you will believe. And not only you will believe, you will also become. Very powerful. Auto-suggestion and outer suggestion. Search for the people. Connect with the people who are positive, supportive. Leave the negative company. Once you become strong, you can do something for them also. With your positivity, you will turn the climate in that company. But if you are not that strong to overpower them, then leave them for some time. And search for the people who are positive. The more positive, the better. Be with them, get strength, remove the distortions of your mind. This is Samatha Bhava, the fourth secret of success. Thank you very much. Subscribe to our channel, like this video. I will be very grateful also if you share our videos. These are secrets, they were kept secret. Means Sadashiva has spoken, you have to follow this. But even it is almost like a common sense. We are not aware that exactly this will bring me to the success. We think, success, if I have money, I will have success. No, it's not like that. Money doesn't buy happiness, and money doesn't buy satisfaction. And so on, we think, that will help me to be successful. No, this will help you to be successful. And it has proved itself in the thousands of years. If you study the example of great personalities, they followed either one or two or three or several more secrets of success. If someone follows all the secrets of success, then he becomes successful. So successful that he becomes also spiritual. So thank you very much. Namaskar.